Hello, it's Liz here from Skills for Parents, and today we're going to talk Sudoku, or Sudoku, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I used to live in Japan, and it is the characters Sudoku, so you might say Sudoku. But that doesn't matter. What's important is how to do it, and that's what we're going to look at today. The reason I like Sudoku is that it's a great way for problem-solving skills, to build them and to build resilience as well, because resilience is really, really important in maths. Sometimes you've got to try things a little bit over and over, and particularly when problem solving. And if you don't have resilience, then you will begin to really struggle. So let's have a look at a Sudoku board. You can see that it's a grid there that's got the numbers 1 to 9 in all of the squares, and then going down in each column will be the numbers 1 to 9, and the numbers 1 to 9 going across. So let's have a look and decide where we're going to start. I often like to work quite logically and to go through the number 1, the number 2, and so on, and start looking at different things. So you've got to have one in every single column and every single row and every single box. So the top left box has got a number 1 in it. So there it is. And there's one in the next box below, but we need to look for where the number 1 will go in the bottom box. So 1, 1. So the third one is going to have to be in the bottom box in that column. And that is going to have to be the number 1. There is no other option there. So I'm going to put the number 1 in. Let's now look in the middle 3 boxes, and there's only that one number 1. So I don't know whether the 1 is going to sit somewhere else, but if we look at the middle box, it can't sit there. So its options were there or there because it can't sit in the third column. So it's going to have to sit not there, but there. So we've now got those. So now we've got that one and that one. And so we are looking at the top one now, at this one here. And so that is going to have to be the number 1 because that's the only option we've got. We'll do exactly the same on the right hand side and look to see at the number 1s. So that's where our number 1 is. There can't be a number 1 at all now in that column coming down. And if we look at the box above, there's quite a lot of options, and there's a lot of options in the box above that as well. So we know it can't be there, but it could be there or there, and it could be there or there. So I'm just going to put a note in. Okay, and that's going to have the number 1 in there. Or it could be the number 1 or the number 1 there. There we go. We've got 4 options in that right hand bit there where we know that 2 of those are going to be 1s, but we don't know which ones yet. So that's the number 1. We've been through all of them and we've got most of them. So now let's look at the number 2. There's the number 2 and the number 2. So our middle row number 2 on the left hand side is going to sit here, here or here. Well, it can't be there, but it could be there or there. So we'll put a note in that that's a number 2 and that's a number 2. It can't be the top one because the row already has a number 2 in it. We've started working our way through, and what you'll see happen now is that we will begin to fill some more in. This is where we've got to now, and as you can see, I've now managed to fill in the top 3 boxes, and I'm looking at where to go next. I've been working my way through, I've done quite a few of the numbers, and it doesn't really actually matter in what order I do it as long as I keep trying. So I'm just looking at it, and I can see that here there's only 2 spaces there, so in that row. So that might be quite a helpful one to fill in. So I'm just working my way through the numbers. I've used the number 1, the number 2, the 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got the 7 and we've got the 9. So we're cross-referencing it with the row, and I've used the number 9 in the row, so it can only be a 7. And in fact, I've used the number 9 in its box as well. So it has to be a 7. And because I've done a 7, I often then go and have a think, are there any other 7s? Where are the other 7s? Can I spot where they might go? Well, if I look here and here, I can then see that I think it will go there because there's a 7 in that row and a 7 in the next row. I hope that that helps you see how to complete Sudoku. That was an easy one I've shown you. The app that I was using has moderate and hard as well, and there's loads of them out there. They're in all the papers. I really, really recommend that you give them a go. Get over that feeling of having to push past when it gets difficult. Every time it gets difficult, say, I'm going to give it a little bit more. Let's try a different way of looking at it. Every time you twist the way that you look at it, from whether you're looking at going by rows, by boxes, going up by number, it will just help you that little bit more to be able to make some progress. I'd love to know how you get on, so do drop me a message on Facebook, which is at Skills for Parents, or come and see us in the Education Support for Parents Facebook group. Thank you very much. Goodbye.